This is a short video tutorial about printing your own fabrics at home on your printer. You'll need a few things for this. First of all, a small cardboard box. Then you'll need some spray mount or spray adhesive. You'll need a nice hot iron, good fabric scissors, nice and sharp, a sheet of printer paper, and this is just your ordinary paper, the paper you use every day in your printer at home. You'll need some fabric, and I'm using regular cotton, and you can use silk as well, but make sure it's 100% silk or 100% cotton, because the inks in your printer will take much better to those fabrics than any other fabric. Of course, you also need a computer and a printer. Now, the first thing we do when we start printing on fabric is you take your sheet of printer paper. This is A4, size A4, and take your cotton and just measure your fabric so it's a little bit bigger than a sheet of paper. Well, I don't actually cut it, but I tear it because it will always be nice and straight. So there we go. So as you can see, the fabric is a little bit bigger than the paper on all sides. There's a little seam here which we don't need, just get rid of that. There we go. So there we are, just a little bit bigger. Then the next thing is to make the fabric nice and flat, so we iron all the wrinkles out so it's really smooth. And I always do this on two sides. Now I have the iron set nice and hot, so the fabric is nice and smooth. Next we will take the cardboard box and put a sheet of printer paper inside, which we will spray with spray mount or spray adhesive. Now I use a cardboard box because I don't want the spray mount or spray adhesive to end up all over my kitchen and make everything else sticky as well. So give it a good shake and spray the paper nice and evenly. Now you want to take extra care around the edges, because that's where the fabric will have to stick very well, because we have to run it through the printer and we don't want the fabric to come loose from the fabric. So I give that an extra little bit of spray glue. Now take the fabric, put it down again, which is nice and flat. And then just position the paper so it's nice and straight onto the fabric. There we go. And then I use the iron again to make sure the adhesive sticks to the fabric. And I do this on both sides as well, because as you may see, well, it's not that bad now, but there's little air gaps. You see that? Little air bubbles, which we don't want to have, so we want to get rid of those. So we'll do it one more time, this side as well, and that's done. Now I can see little bits of dust or little hairs, and you want to try and get rid of those as much as you can. There, that's good. And then the next step is we want to get rid of the edges of the fabric, and we want to have the fabric just around the edges of the paper. So take your sharp scissors and cut following the lines of the paper as close as you can get it to the paper. And that's where sharp scissors come in handy, because if you wouldn't have sharp scissors, then these edges would just be messy, and they might actually catch in your printer, and you just don't want that to happen. Now I've tried doing this at night, of course with the lights on, but my eyes are not that good, and I couldn't really see what I was doing. So I suggest you do this during the day at a nice window. Is very helpful. Now you want to do this on all four edges. Just cut them all off, and well, you understand what you don't have to see all that. But when you finish with that, you end up with a piece of paper which is nice and smooth, and all around the edges it's nice and clean. Well, if you can see, sometimes there's a little bit of thread sticking out. You just want to check that and get rid of that. And then you're ready to go to the printer.